if you say so. Good afternoon, welcome to the Daily Live Extra. Friday the 12th of January, 19 days left for Everton to sign.
Coming at you like Cleopatra.
Why wouldn't you? 43 players, can we do it? Sean Dyche has done his press conference. You've got me addicted to cleaning my computer with alcohol.
It shouldn't be so grubby, should it? Why is it so grubby?
Because we haven't had these wipes to clean it with.
Clear, yeah.
Yeah, he's done his press conference. The takeaways from it are Dwight McNeil isn't going to be back on Sunday. Abdoulaye Doucouré will obviously be a late call. He'll play, but he's not going to think he. Ashley Young isn't available yet, but he's getting closer.
Back on the grass.
And that's about it, really, isn't it? That's about it. Idrissa Gueye's away with the AFCON. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the good news is for Dwight, before you go on to the thing, the good news is about Dwight McNeil is it isn't a bad one. So the fact is he sort of indicated he will be all right for Palace in the replay, which is of course on Wednesday night. We could have done with him for Sunday, but hey ho, and he did kind of say Dan Juma is playing against Villa, didn't he?
Yeah, he did say that.
So what did you make of it? Good news from about McNeil, though, obviously.
It was actually a good news press conference.
It was
in many ways. There
was
players are all coming back, hopefully, and Danjuma should play, which is good. The Doucouré will play. Positive news about Ashley Young, and so to be honest, if we can get over the next couple of games, then we should have a return to a pretty fit squad. Obviously, Idrissa Gueye's in the African nations, so we'll keep an eye on that. But hopefully, we'll have a strong squad. And listen, this is what you generally get from Sean Dyche, isn't it? When he speaks, is pretty much a clarification on most things. And we'll wait and see. As I said, the Dan Juma situation, I imagine, is still pretty fluid. But you don't. Just because we're in January doesn't mean, and a player wants to go, doesn't mean you do it now. You do it on the 31st if you're ever going to do, when you know exactly what you've got before you let a player go. He said he doesn't want to let anyone go. He's obviously asked about Onana, who's said pretty much the same on that. But as long as we're dictating what the situation is, then that's all you can ask for, isn't it? So, yeah, it was pretty much what I thought it was going to be, and as I said, with he said it himself. We've looks like we've got lucky with the Dwight McNeil situation, and it'll just be a case of letting it settle down.
Yeah, that is very good news, because obviously when he stretched it off, you fear the worst, don't you? I'm sure we all did when we seen the stretcher, and you pointed out cutting the sock and all that straight away. You start thinking, oh God, here we go. We once lost Andros Townsend there, didn't we? And that was it. We never play for Everton again. So it is good news that Dwight is okay, and hopefully it won't be too much longer. Get some ice on it, some cabbage round the ankle, you'll be fine by Sunday. Peter Roberts says Sean needs to gargle with salt water and swig some honey and hot water before he does his presses. He does seem to struggle just talking, doesn't he?
Just talking.
That
voice just must have an effect all the time. Maybe he needs to get to the bottom of why he talks like that.
Yeah,
maybe he's got what they call noids or whatever is it?
Yeah, adenoids.
Yeah, maybe he's got something like that on his throat. Maybe he needs to get to the bottom of that. Because I listen to every press conference.
My fault.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's fault.
I mean, it's not. I mean, there's three of us in the room, and not one of us has clocked it. But carry on. Yeah.
Just giving an international feel to the show.
Make it more Everton. Turn that around so it was Luca Dean.
Just get all the players who left us. That's those with Charlison and
yeah.
Now, yeah, get it sorted.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. The road to 100,000. At the traffic lights. Beginning the journey.
We're 10 years old in May.
Yeah.
And what a way to celebrate it with 100,000 subscribers.
Can we? I mean, that's a yeah. Why not?
It's the way to look at it.
Why not? Can we get that by May?
Has anyone got a number for any of those Indian?
Can you just buy them?
You could buy them in India. We wouldn't do that just for a vanity purposes. Ned, get on the phone. Oh no, Ned doesn't like phones.
It's dodgy, and Ned ignores messages on the phone. Probably loads of people wanting to subscribe on the phone.
How do I
just ignoring
subscribe? Ned's like, I don't know. I don't need.
Wouldn't be answering them. Nodules on vocal cords, says Danny. That's what he reckons on it. Yeah.
There you go. I think you need to get that sorted.
I do. Or get some like Beecham's down him or
Every
something.
press conference I listen to, he's like, because I edit the away ones or the home ones after the game. I hear the bit when he walks in the door and everything, and he's like, honestly, like, and then it starts, and you don't see that bit. I have to hear it. I've got headphones on. I'm like, look that Mourinho gif or meme when it's like that.
That's it.
That's like literally my ear.
Dodgy. No, I haven't gone and checked my cough out, Martin, because what is it?
Don't they say over 3 weeks?
It's 3 weeks now, but it's not there all the time. But when I come in and start talking and doing shows, it obviously irritates.
We need a humidifier in here.
Yeah, but this will just be thingy. But I think, well, my dad's is checked out. He's had this cough for 7 weeks.
He's not you.
No. But there is a thing it's called the 100-day cough, which is this latest thing that people have got, which it just hangs around. I don't know. Obviously, if it carries on, I will go to doctors and get it checked. But I feel absolutely sound. It's just a stupid little cough, depression. But it is obviously worse after doing lots of talking.
We do lots of talking. We do lots of talking between the shows.
It's just there. You just feel it tickling here. You're like, oh my God. But yeah. But people, it's just going on. I've seen like loads going, oh, I've got over it. And then 3 days later, they come back and it's back again. I'm not in that boat.
No.
I'm just there as... Like at the weekend, I hardly coughed at all because I wasn't doing as much talking.
To rest your vocal.
Yeah. It's after a bit, you just go and you can feel the tickle here. I would have defo gone to doctors if it had felt bad still. No, like feeling like I'd have gone and just like, in case I had like an infection or whatever. But no, mate, it's just a tickle. Troubles. I mean, Rod says, same here, Baz. I've had it for 4 months, the cough.
No,
it's called a 100-day cough. Honestly, it's a thing. It's mad. I see me mate the other day, and he went to Iceland.
4 months is longer than 100 days, though.
He went to Iceland in October.
Oh, with his mum.
When he come back, he got sick and got the cough, and he's still coughing now. Did loads of people. So I don't know whether it's just this particular type of irritant or whatever, but I'll just monitor it, mate. If it carries on still in a few weeks, I might go to doctors. I remember getting mum when I was working in social services, and I got ill, and it was, I reckon it was like the original COVID, but it was from a family who weren't the cleanest, but it was like the OG COVID. No, I went into this family's house.
Can I just stop for? What is this show we're doing? What is going on?
I'm just responding to this, right? So I walked up the path. I could smell the house in the path.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was in there for half an hour. Anyway, I come out. The next day I was in a meeting and I just started getting a tickle in my throat. And then I got up the next day. Anyway, I was ill for a couple of weeks, like really bad. I was off work. And I went back to work. I had a cough that was in January. Yeah. My cough went in May. I had 2 chest x-rays. The only reason it went in the end, the doctor gave me an inhaler just for the time, and after about 3 or 4 days of the inhaler, the cough went. Yeah. But whatever I'd had, I honestly thought I had TB. I should get up and cough for about 40 minutes.
I understand that. Listen to this for synergy.
Oh, go on.
Listen to this. Ahead of the Everton Villa game, Everton in the community are providing free health screenings at the People's Place.
There you go.
Stay at the top of your game and become empowered to make informed decisions about your health. You can book a time slot. That's on Everton's Twitter right now. So there you go. Synergy. I mean, Baz won't do it because that would mean him getting to the game at least 20 minutes before kickoff, which isn't happening. But there you go.
Absolutely.
There you go. Synergy.
Synergy. That's what they say. Adrian says, afternoon, guys. Emma says, I couldn't watch him last week with the constant sniffing. Yeah. Did my head in. At least he blew his nose this week.
I also have to, when I edit the videos, because they are the press conferences after the game, we are so amateurish, and we are still so amateurish in this country, the way we do press conferences, and we don't have microphones, and it's literally for the written press, so they just shout out things instead of having a microphone. I have to turn up the volume, on the journalist so that people can hear them. But while they're talking, he's coughing and sniffing. So when his coughs are like like that, it's like Godzilla coughing. It's horrible. Honest to God, sort it out, Everton.
Well, it'll obviously be worse because he's coughing by the mic that's live.
Yeah, but I'm turning up their mics, and because it's not. Oh my God, like, it takes me ages to edit it, and it still sounds crap.
Yeah, absolutely. Duke's possibly back on Sunday, says Emma. She looks like she's happy about that. Paul.
He is back. That's a show and promise.
No, it is a show and promise. Paul says, do hope Everton can win against Aston Villa this weekend. Keep the faith, Everton fans. And Ken from Mumbai says, assault that like button like one of Dom's horror tackles. So again, just basically brushing.
He was asked the question, wasn't he? He was asked about like whether it stays on his record. He said he didn't know,
but it would be weird if it did.
Yeah.
Basically, wasn't he? That's what he was kind of saying. But
that came from a ref, though, didn't it? It came from a ref who said that.
It doesn't make sense if it does, really. But what can you do? What can you do? Yeah. Richard says, afternoon, lads. I'm looking for the Spread Me ASMR channel. Have I come to the right place? Literally Ned yesterday on that. How many times did he say Spread Me?
What did he say? Spread Me?
He said it yesterday.
Spread Me?
About 40 times. Wasn't he saying that? Was it on round the tower? You kept saying Spread Me. You did, didn't you?
Why would I say
What
that?
the hell are you saying Spread Me for?
Why was I saying that?
I don't know, but you just kept saying it. Paul Cattle says, McNeil touch and go better than I expected. Dan Hume's here until we decide that we don't want him, mate. So, I think right now, he wouldn't go unless Everton bring in a replacement, and Everton are looking for an additional winger. So, yeah. We do need to add some creativity and goals to this side, Paul, absolutely. What's going on now, Ned?
I just can't get over him saying Spread Me.
No, that was it when we were talking about where we want our ashes spread.
That was it.
And I said, Spread Me.
He must have said Spread Me about 15 times, honestly.
See, this is what you get on Toffee TV Premier. You get Baz asking whether you'd rather be cremated or buried, and you get Ned going on about where he wants to be spread. And how he wants to be spread.
Yeah, I mean, some of it, the conversation with Ned on that
honestly
was just.
If you're not on Toffee TV Premier, this is what you're missing. It was an incredible conversation. We do a show on a Thursday called Round the Tower, and honestly, it's boss. Three
Ned
questions.
Pilkinson. It is
3 questions each: an Everton question, a general football question, and then a general question. So Baz's general question yesterday was cremated or buried. What was yours, Ned? Put your mic up.
Mine was one celebrity you could chat to for like an hour.
Yeah.
And it can be anyone.
Yeah.
John's was, would you rather be 5 centimetres or 5 metres?
Oh, that was a good one. Would you rather be
can't be
5 centimetres or 5 metres tall?
Because my penis
And Ned
was too
went for
big.
5 centimetres. And then, without understanding what he just sort of signed up for, getting killed by a wasp within 30 seconds, he didn't realise.
Spark a wasp out.
You wouldn't spark a wasp out at all. These are the conversations. This is what you're missing out on.
Bainey says Toffee TV, the home of everything Everton. Like and subscribe, you filthy animals. There you go. Steve P said, could you see us bringing in Harrison Reed for a nominal fee or on a free in the summer? He'd be good for squad depth, solid player, but for him to be mentioned as Onana's replacement is quite comical. I prefer Brownhill as he's a bit of younger, but would have either of them on a free. I don't know whether we'd pay for him now. He did look at Harrison Reed last transfer window. Josh Brownhill I can see coming in the summer as a squad player, definitely. And then they'll decide what happens with Dyche, whether or not he's offered an extension or whether he'll go to Saudi or somewhere like that. But I don't know whether we'll buy either of those in this window. Yeah, we'll see. Gary says howdy. Benjamin says the FA may have rescinded Dom's red card, but rescheduling the cup against Palace to Wednesday when we're playing on the Sunday is criminal.
When else could
They couldn't have really played it, though. They wouldn't have played it Thursday because teams are playing next weekend, aren't they? And we couldn't have had it Tuesday, could we? So it's the way it is, mate, sadly. Bainey says he needs industrial-grade strepsils. Possibly. Brian says, I caught a kind of flu bug 3 years ago and proceeded to almost cough my lungs up for a month. I still cough when talking. It refuses to disappear.
Have you been to see a doctor? Because that sounds like something... Really...
If you actually look at like a cough, right, and how long it can last, a lot of them say 4 or 5 months because you can get a little bit of bacteria that stays in your lung.
This could be a great idea for a show, this. Men's health.
What would it be? Men's health?
We'll just share our health. See, at the moment, I've got this little spot on my nose, right? And I might have to go to the doctors about it because I'm starting to get a little bit worried about it. It's been there for months and it keeps on coming back in the same place. And I'm thinking...
I've got dry skin there.
No, this is like a proper spot on that keeps on coming back all the time. And I'm like, I probably need to get that checked out.
Well, I think I'm going to go and get this checked out because I have got just a little tiny bit of dry skin, but it doesn't go.
Do you know what I might need to go to the doctors for?
So?
Get it checked out. My increasingly incredible 10k speeds. They're just getting too quick. The issue is, when I look at Ned and at a 22-year-old, I think, how can I, as a 45-year-old man, be running such times for 10Ks and yet he can't get out of bed in the morning? That must be an issue on my behalf, I think.
If you feel like you might have discovered yourself, like you might have a superhero power, but you're not sure.
Yeah.
Would you get it checked out?
You should leave that for the round the tower. That's a good question for round the tower.
I wouldn't want to be tested, and I wouldn't want people to know if I do decide to become a hero, because then the doctor knows, and you can't trust the doctor.
Well, you can't trust it. I mean, literally, if you can't trust the doctor, who can you trust?
What if he tells us, I know that Spider-Man, he came to me to make...
No, he can't. He literally can't do that. It's unethical.
Oh, that's fair enough. Nobody can be unethical.
Nobody can be
people
unethical.
Can, but doctors can't.
There's evidence against that.
Is there evidence against it? Provide that evidence to me now.
I could provide Harold Shipman.
Harold Shipman.
But I don't think he went round telling people that one of his patients was a superhero.
I'd have heard it if he did do that. Well,
where's this show gone?
Gary Ball says, any idea on when we might get an answer to 777 takeover? There was rumours it was going to be this week, but nothing. There is rumours that it'll be next week, so I think people are just going... It's dragged on this long. It can only really be within the next week or so. But who knows?
What if it just drags on forever? And they just keep on giving us money, but they're not actually owners.
Newcastle had it for ages, didn't he? I'll be there. Kev Murphy says 10 years, lads, coming up. Well done. Give us great content, and especially the shite we've had to put up with the last few years. Keep it up. Thank you, Kev. Peter Roberts says he loves to rub his nose and then rub it on his bonds too. Not quite Joachim love. Yogi love scratch and sniff though. Manic Wolf says, with Werner going to Spurs, any chance of a cheeky Richie loan? No, because he's their main striker now. Everyone hit the like, says Rondon the legend. Chris Peacock says, well done on the 10 years. Well, it's not 10 years till May, but we're in, we're doing it. James W says COVID was made in a house in Liverpool, not China. It was actually a house in Huyton.
Yeah.
To be fair. It was Knowsley. Yeah. Dave Roberts says, book the docs now. Takes a month to get seen.
Yeah.
Kev Murphy says, and Baz, main questions we all want to know. Did you have a straightener in the car park the other day with John? No, because he knew that I was correct. So we just went out and sat out there. Then Ned came out trying to stare it again, saying things neither of us said until we put him right. But there you go.
I'm still trying to work out what John thought I had pictures of.
John said you had pictures of Onana basically wrestling the fella.
Well, yeah, there are pictures of him.
Well, he's basically got his hand
on his wrist.
He's got his hand like that, trying to push him off, which is not quite the same. The whole point of that was, though, I was saying it was the share pull was the offence, which was exactly the same as what João Pedro's, or Welbeck, whoever it was. John took that to be I was saying they stood in exactly the same position, identical position, whatever, but ultimately, he said, yeah, they were both penalties, which was all I was saying. But it was good. We got a video out of it and loads of views, so fair play. Sean says supporting Everton's killing my mental health. Martin Wone says Sean Dyche sounds like Madge Bishop from Neighbours. Sambo says all you need is a pack of menthol Jakeman. You know what? Someone else said that to me. He'll get rid of me cough. Wonder if that'll get rid of Sean's as well. I might get some of them and just see.
Go for it.
Kevin Murphy says good old Mads and Harold. Yeah, they're quality. And Sean Collins says this show really does help with my mental health. It's brilliant. Fair play, mate. Fair play. And James says get Toffee TV Premium member, all for the price of a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
For a month. Dexy phoned him, was very emotional, yeah. Ken says if only we had a creative midfielder who was played in a Champions League final and a World Cup semi-final. Oh, hold on. We do.
Is the guy gay?
You mean the fellas at the AFCON?
World Cup semi-final.
World Cup semi-final?
Senegal gets the World Cup semi-final.
No.
Well, not the last World Cup.
Or maybe we've got a midfielder that played in the Champions League final, another midfielder that played in the Champions League semi-final.
World Cup semi-final.
I mean, World Cup semi-final.
Oh, Delhi.
Delhi hasn't got any legs.
We might have.
Plays for Everton.
You might have. Emma says I missed last night's show. Defo swerving it now. Spreading Ned sounds grim.
That's not very nice, Emma. You're talking about spreading
It was quite funny, Emma. You need to watch it.
Yeah.
It's good. Michael says need a centre mid and another winger at least this month just to get back to playing a game a week. Wouldn't have been bothered going out in the FA Cup. Be interested to see how seriously he takes Palace.
Oh, he'll take it very seriously because we haven't got a game.
And we're at home as well.
We haven't got a game for nearly 2 weeks afterwards, have we? So, well, if we don't get through. I mean, Premier League game.
Martin says, I still think we need a centre-half in. We're a Tarky or Brantwaite injury away from disaster, as Keane and Godfrey are poor. I can see us getting Ben Mee on a free this summer as a backup. James has said quality coffee TV, as in TV. There you go. And Kevin Murphy said Toffee TV turning into embarrassing bodies clinic. Hey, you never know. You never know.
There you go. I mean,
Everything Everton says, well done, lads, great content. I mean, you've just been telling me you're going to doctors for your nose, so that's all he was saying.
I think that's embarrassing, though.
Oh, embarrassing bodies is this?
No, I know, but I don't think that's an embarrassing.
No, I don't think it is.
Shaming people now.
Garrett says, great show as always, lads. Get them Everton shirt up. When you guys playing the Reds on FIFA again, that was funny. Me and Ned have started well, you'll be seeing it soon, our Road to Survival season on FC24. Interesting. Billy says, John wound me up. No two incidents are ever going to be completely identical. Correct. Are there, I mean, I don't know if there are any real Everton transfer links today, but it'll only be if players go, won't it? Everton will obviously be looking to try and get some loans in because that's the market that we're going to have to work in. And it's in general, it's quite quiet anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everything's like, oh, these might sign this player and they, Chelsea have drawn a short list of 5 strikers up. Oh, they're going for the striker this window and probably be the summer. Well, okay. So, you know what I mean? And then the short list is one that any kid could do.
There'll be the normal mad rush in the last 10 days. People trying to put deals together, loans and stuff. And as I said, someone like Dan Juma might go on the last day if Everton can get something done for somebody else that suits everybody. But whilst there's still 3 games, possibly 4 games left in the month, why would you let him go?
You can't, can you? No. We haven't got anyone coming through the door, so you can't. There is a one that's come out of Italy today that says Ben Godfrey could join Roma on loan for the remainder of the season. But the move will be made towards the end of January. Everton are willing to let him leave on loan. according to the Italian press. I could see that. I could see him going to Marino.
Yeah.
And just being an option for them over there. Very much in the way that they just took. Remember, Chris Smalling went over there when he was damaged goods at United, and he's gone and done quite well over there.
I think he'd do quite well over there. His pace and strength.
He would, the pace and strength, he'd be fine. So he'd have to just wait and see of like whether or not that led to anything else, whether they could come up with a, they want to keep him if he does all right or whatever. Because at the moment he's not going anywhere with us, is he?
No.
He's a sub at best for us at the minute. And that, you never know, that could free up something for us in terms of loans or whatever, but we will see. Isaac Heath has been training with the first team, hasn't he, this week as well? Under 21 player. Dyche, probably for numbers as well, really. I mean, people see it and go, oh, he's doing great. So, and he probably is doing well, and that's why he's been given the chance. But the reality is, it's just for numbers in training, isn't it? And they can have a look at them and see how far away they are. And if he's doing all right, I'm sure he'll be given more chances. But we'll see where we go, where we go with that. But Dyche did play down in terms of Danjuma. He played down any kind of talk, didn't he? Said he's an Everton player. He played in the last game. He's playing in the next game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there was no sort of. There didn't seem to be any sort of worry about him going anywhere.
He's Everton's player, isn't he?
So, there's not. It's up to him, isn't it? I imagine if he was playing for us week in, week out, he wouldn't be thinking about leaving Everton for Liam this season. He might in the summer, he might be thinking, I'll go and try somewhere else. But only he can really shape Sean Dyche's opinion of him by going and doing the business.
Yeah, and he's got the possibility of 2-3 games to do that now. So, and he's obviously has played more over Christmas and started to come off the bench a little bit more, and so there's your opportunity, take it.
That's it.
You want a chance, there's your chance, take the chance. If and if you can't, you can't. But there's no point us, letting you go because it suits you. Well, what about us? And I know I've seen different things. People going, why are people asked? Well, I'm asked because I want as strong a squad as possible, and it does because Danjuma isn't playing games. Doesn't mean he's not needed. Otherwise, you might as well just have 11 players or 12 players. You need squad. You need players. Players do get injured all the time. We had 3 right backs, and suddenly we had 1 right back. This is what can happen. This is what can happen. Suspensions, everything else. You might have a player who gets sent off, and they mightn't let them off like they not let off, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Come to the correct decision. That's the way the game is. We need as many players as we can, which means Danjuma for me has to stay for the whole season for me. And if he doesn't start more than 5 games, so what? That's just fortune that's fell our way.
He's just got to get his head down, work hard, and then we'll see. We'll see what happens, won't we, from there? But
I know he wants to get in the Dutch squad for the Euros, but I don't think playing for Lyon's going to get you in the Dutch squad. I really don't.
No.
Forcing your way into a Premier League team will get you in the Dutch squad. Going into a Lyon team, that's crap. Won't get you in the Dutch squad.
Might just think playing though will give him game time and stuff, but I don't know. Graham Rogers says John's point was going to the PGMOL and saying it's exactly the same. Because people keep referencing it, gives them the opportunity to focus on semantics of exactly the same rather than admitting the offence is the same, but the outcomes are different. Yeah, but where did What people are missing in this is, what is the offence? When you give a foul away, you've committed an offence, right? It's like having a driving offence of speeding in a 30 mile an hour zone. If you go over 30 miles an hour and the police clock you, you're done for speed.
Let me ask you a question, right? Just let me ask you a question. Do you think pulling someone's shirt in the box should be an automatic foul, therefore penalty?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the rule?
When the ball's coming.
Is that the rule?
Well, yeah, because you're stopping the player from...
No, but I'm asking you, is that the rule?
I think it is, yeah. That's why they're giving. I don't think you can stop someone motioning towards a ball. What I was trying to say to John, there's grappling. You can turn around and go, well, people, whatever, they've got their hands on and there's grappling. Goes on all the time. You see it all the time. People are pulling and shoving and all that. The minute I motion towards the ball and you hold my shirt, you're stopping me running, it's a foul. Because if I was running towards the goal outside the box, the ref would give a free kick for a shirt pull. Yeah. It's exactly the same. My point, Graham, is you can say these offences were exactly the same because it's a shirt pull. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, if that's the rule you're using, I don't think they use that rule. They use it almost the same way they used handball. They have different shades.
But I don't if I've got hold of your shirt and your shirt's like that, I'm stopping you going anywhere. That's got to be a foul. It cannot not be a foul.
Didn't have hold of his shirt there though, did he? He had his shirt.
Well, he has it here and it's pulling. You can see it.
I agree. I agree. I'll happily sit here and say I don't think it was a penalty because I don't think the one against the Corey was a penalty at Forest. And that's the way I look at it. I think it's two players grappling with each other, and that's all it is.
I think if the lad's got hold of his arm and he's got hold of his arm, I'd agree with you. I just think when you pull a shirt,
I think Onana grabs hold of his arm as well. I think they've got hold of each other.
He's pushing.
That's fine. That's fine. We can have different opinions.
Of course, yeah.
The one I really, it was me and Jack with someone yesterday just off camera. I was saying like the one that for me is like if you physically got hold of the player and you can't move. I think football players have done this to themselves because of some of them will throw themselves to the ground, and it's a little bit like the time one, isn't it? It's like the Beto one. See, the Beto one because he's physically, what did he call it? Cupping. He cupped them. To me, that's like, well, you've got your arms around them, so you're stopping them moving. That to me is a penalty because you are stopping someone, even if it's just for 2 seconds. You are stopping someone getting to the ball. But football players have done this themselves. And again, Sean Dyche referenced this. If football players were a bit more honest about when they get kicked and when they don't get kicked and they weren't trying to... In that instance, maybe, Onana's being too honest because he doesn't go down. The Brighton player does go down because he does, and you've got the full shirt being pulled and it's the whole poing, he goes down. It's football players are allowing or have allowed the referees to create that grey area, and that's the problem. And they've all done this to themselves. Yeah.
Ruben, no, mate. No, I didn't say they were identical. Said they were exactly the same. John said identical. I didn't. It was John's word. So all you've done is you've literally just proved I was correct again. Thank you.
Aren't they the same?
No. No.
Okay.
Identical. I said exactly the same. Identical twins aren't exactly the same, are they? Not identical. Are they? So, once again, I love the fact people continue to make me sound correct. I'd let it go and you just keep playing.
Basically, if you're a twin, I apologise for Baz saying you're as relevant as a share pull.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just before we move on, Ned, put that graphic on the screen, please. So on Sunday morning from 10:30 on at St Mary's Primary School, there is fan advisory board supporters meeting with guest speaker Steve Rotherham and Andy Burnham, fan group representatives. Everyone is welcome, but you must register to attend. That from 10:30 bit means I won't be there. But I'm sure it'll be a good meeting, and obviously Andy Burnham who is an Evertonian. Obviously, the mayor of Greater Manchester has been very vocal recently, and obviously you've got Steve Rodden, who is the Liverpool Metro mayor, who's obviously always backed Everton's corner on generally everything. So if you do want to go to that and speak, and Ned, you can take the graphic off now if you want, even though you're not concentrating and you're concentrating on something else. I'm still asking you to take the graphic off. Thanks, Ned.
Is that regarding like the 10 points thing?
It's regarding the
commission.
and how we move forward and the treatment of the club.
How we move forward is they give us some bleeding points back.
Well, what is interesting is because of the whole Newcastle situation and maybe a couple of other clubs worried and other clubs saying they can't spend, it does feel like we're not, even though we are on our own because we've had the 10-point deduction, it does feel like because it's been picked up and the Newcastle one's a bit like, and you're like, lads, we know, we've been telling you this for ages.
You weren't interested.
Till Newcastle got involved or till Arsenal got involved. But it does feel like, and because there's this like day of destiny almost on Monday, whether it's where teams are going to find out where they're going to be hit, it does feel like, and like people are like, what is going on? And rather than going, ha, look at you, knobheads at Everton, people are going, oh my God, it's happened to us. We're now the cheats. The Al Nazi meme.
We're the bad
guys. And also that might lead to Premier League teams going, this is nonsense, because this is something we've spoke about certainly on More Than a Game. It's like no one's buying anyone and no one's selling anyone because the transfer market's ground to a halt. And that can't be good for
rules.
football.
No.
You have a natural ecosystem in football. When you're a big club with money, you buy off the teams below you.
Yeah.
And then they go and look and they go and buy the bargains, and then the bargains come good for them. And actually they're made up because the difference between their player that they've just sold for 50, 60, 70 million compared to the player they've just bought for 10 million is actually minimal. And we survived on it for years under Moyes. That's how, and that ecosystem is starting to dry up because of the rules. And then people will go, yeah, but look at Brighton and look what Brentford will do. That will dry up because soon Chelsea will go, why are we buying from the corner shop when we can go to the tree and grab it off it ourselves? These will do exactly what in Moneyball where Boston went, we don't need to get your plays anymore because we're just going to buy the fellow who understands the data.
Yeah.
You know, the Pivs of the world. Yeah. The bedroom keyboard warriors, you know.
You call them paper bedroom keyboard warriors.
Very much so. Football manager, elite.
Fair play.
But that's,
No,
so,
right.
and now, so it does seem, and it looks like there might be a vote where they're going to change the rules possibly because it's going to affect more and more teams. And actually, I think Arsenal are a really interesting one because they are going for the Champions League and the, Champions League in the Champions League, but they're going for the Premier League because they can't buy to improve, and they therefore they can't sell because they're like, well, if we can't buy anyone, we're certainly not going to sell anybody.
Yeah,
that they are up there, and that's what's going to happen. The whole thing is going to ground to a halt. So Man City are going to look to sell and go, no one's going to want to buy their players. Liverpool will have a few that no one will buy because they can't. So they'll go, well, it's all ground to a halt, and we don't have those teams in Europe who would buy. No one's getting.
No one can afford our players from Europe because our players on too much money as well. So it is. They've created a strange situation now, haven't they? James says, how much is Gomez leaving this window? Good 3 million off the wage bill. That's if he goes. He might stay. The manager might think he needs him. You know, he's better off keeping him around till the end of the season for cover and stuff and an option. Depends. Adrian says, wasn't Godfrey to Roma mooted a few weeks ago? It wasn't Roma, was it? It was a couple of other.
Atalanta, wasn't it?
Atalanta and someone else. There was 2 Italian clubs, I think. Was it Fiorentina? Oh, no, it wasn't Fiorentina. I think it was another one. But that's moved on, yeah. Kev says he's just seen Mark Viduka at Lime Street. It's happening. Abigail says, did you hear that a glass beer bottle was thrown at a Roma player in a cup game the other day? No,
I had no.
I didn't say that. Ruben says he hoped the player's okay.
What other kind of beer bottles are there, by the way?
Plastic. Gareth says, does Ned...
Trying to recycle.
No, you know, he's got to make sure Roger Tweedle doesn't say enough when it's very at games, apparently. Gareth says, does Ned still think he'd fight with a seagull? And if so, I'd love to see in his new show, Ned takes on the world with his guitar.
It's It's like hearing this seagull thing. It's just a seagull. Anyone could knock out a seagull if they were like me.
Okay.
Kind of muscly.
People don't believe that though. People believe a seagull would take you out.
Oh, it would.
Just a seagull.
It'd take you
Yeah, but
out.
it's got. But
They're big, you know, mate.
They're big, right? And number one, they swoop from
Oh.
me. They swoop.
Oh, it's the alcohol wipes.
He's just rubbed his nose with the alcohol. Like, oh no, Ned!
That was
No, no!
That's why you need your camera on at all times. You need
Oh
the
no!
camera on at all
Oh, I
times.
watched that in real time. It was bad. It was
the
really,
face.
really
It was the
bad.
face as
He
if
went,
that he went. Oh, it is. Ned Dyche. Steve was saying, Baz was saying it was the same file, not the exact same image, like spot the difference or something. Why can't people understand that, lol? I don't know. I did in the thing. I was trying to explain.
Let's
People,
take this to VAR a minute.
people
Oh,
here.
let's leave it.
Barry says,
It's on a video.
surely,
People can go and watch it themselves on a video.
Ned, do you know what really like winds me up, right? It's
Grinds
the
gears.
fact that it grinds me gears, right? It's the fact that people don't listen to what's said. They think they know what's been said and make the. You're sitting there going, but I want to put this on and show that. You're not listening to what was said. It was exactly the same offence. Therefore, it should have been a penalty. End of story. Forget about semantics. Forget about in a conversation that John dragged on for 20 minutes. If I then said it's identical at some stage and you're trying to find a bit where I said identical, despite John starting it with identical, even though I said exactly, right?
John Spartan, wasn't he?
John Spartan.
Wasn't that Demolition Man?
Yeah.
Isn't that what Sylvester Stallone
Well, that's
played?
who John thinks
Oh,
he is.
we all said it's a penalty.
Right. So what are you arguing for then?
I'm not.
So what was the offence? Because that's what. But this is again. I was
They
trying to
both
explain.
should have been a penalty because
Right,
they were
why
both
then?
the same offence.
Okay.
for
So
a
there's no
shirt
further
fault.
questions then, is there? There's no further questions. It's done. You just backed me up. It was done.
That's what I'm saying.
So what were you? So why were you then going? Nah, yeah, but
I don't. John wasn't saying it wasn't a penalty.
what was John arguing for?
He was saying that the referees will use Onana having his hand on the player as an excuse to why it wasn't a penalty.
But that
Right.
can't be. If the offence is a pull, right?
I know.
It doesn't matter what's on. If the offence is the sheer pull, which again was trying to explain, then it doesn't matter. The offence is the sheer pull. If Dominic Calvert-Lewin jumps in with a straight leg and still wins that ball, and the next fella jumps in with a straight leg, they're the same offence why you're sent off. Dom was sent off because his studs were up. That's why he was sent off. The same as someone jumping into two-footed. They're sent off for the same offence. The difference, they're sent off for the same offence. Therefore, they're exactly the same offence. Right? Dom's been proven it wasn't quite that. That's what I was trying to say to John. If Howard Webb sat here, I'd go, they're the same offence though, the sheer pull. And he'd go, yeah, they are. Wouldn't he? He wouldn't go, yeah, but Onana's hands. That's nothing to do with where Onana's hand is. If I'm dragging your shirt like this, if my hand's on you and your hand's on me and we're grappling, yeah, I get that 100%. You go, he's holding.
That's not an offence.
He's holding him, right? But he's pulling on that. I know it's here, but you can see the shirt clearly getting dragged like that.
and
that's the offence.
We know
isn't it?
that's offence, and that's why we all agree it's a penalty. So
Can I
why
go,
wasn't
yeah?
it a penalty? And I think what John was saying is the reason why they didn't, because the referee is probably saying,
Do you know what?
Well,
Why
if-
John?
right,
If
John was
only
saying
there was
it
a video
because it
that
was
you
wrong.
could go and watch
it's
right
not.
now.
No, but they all watched it and they still didn't know what was getting said.
Do me a
because
favour,
I'm
put
still
that picture
getting
up on the screen, please, that I've just sent you. Do some actual real work.
Sean says, as long as we replace Danjuma, I'll be happy.
Okay.
Barry P says, surely it's up to us if Danjuma goes to Leon.
Yeah, it is.
The media have been talking like he's gone behind our back in agreed terms.
Well, he has gone in great terms, but that's not going behind our back. That's just what happens now in football.
Barry P says, he agrees with you, footy's ridiculously soft now. Blues says the difference between the Forest one was the Corey shirt was pulled first, Kulusevski.
But that's what I was saying. That's my whole point. That's my whole point, and that's probably different from what Baz's point is that football players grab each other in the box, and the Corey one, why I didn't think it was a penalty was just because the guy falls on the floor, because he is going to do that. The defender can't fall on the floor because if he falls on the floor and the guy scores and he doesn't get the foul, he looks like a tit. Yet the chances of a forward falling on the floor and getting a pen are obviously much higher, aren't they? And that's why I didn't think that was a pen, and that's why I can see why he didn't give the pen. That's all. Then put that on screen for me, please, just to change the subject, please. These are down at Bramley-Moore. These are the side bits, the barrel. They're ready to go up of the stadium.
Oh, okay.
So these are the barrel parts of the roof. So where the roof comes down and barrels down, and obviously looks like really silver. These are the new parts. So that's the next part of the stadium.
Isn't it just a pain in the arse though? Because it's showing you how good it is. We're not going for another 18 months. It's like, hey, look, it's all done, but we're not going there for 18 months.
I know, but it's fun.
It is mad.
The ground. Not the stadium.
I might even get in the stadium.
Yeah.
Stadium, it is not mine.
Yoda.
It was the Shane. Peter says the Shane challenge. Both players' shirts were grabbed.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right, Peter. You're spot on. Let's move on now, anyway. No, because there's a few, but you've just said let's move on.
No.
Phil G says Sean promise. Haha, if you know, you know. Martin says more teams agreeing that FFP is bull. Means they'll probably change the rules now in the next couple of seasons, and City and Chelsea will get away with it. The way football is run is pathetic. Yeah.
But fundamentally, though, that rule does not work. It doesn't work. It's just a nonsense. What needs to happen is a universal cap on the wages, not the wages of the players. And this has to be thing before people go, maybe. I will repeat again.
So you decide, yeah.
I'll repeat again. Your squad has a certain amount of money it can spend every summer. If it wants to give £800,000 a week to one of your players, you can do that all you want. You can have your Erling Haaland. But what you can't have is the last guy in the squad earning £100,000 in a week. And therefore, if he wants to earn £100,000 a week, you're going to have to sell him to Everton or to whoever. And we get a balance. And we don't have all the teams hoarding. But if you still want to go out in January like Newcastle and go and buy a player, and that player is whoever it is, like it was Anthony Gordon last season, you can still spend X amount, but you cannot give him X amount of wages if you've already got someone on X amount of wages. And that's the way it should be, like it is in sports in America. A more balanced thing, but it keeps the money flowing. And if Everton will come in and say to the same player, we can give you £100,000 a week, but Newcastle can only give you 50. Then he goes, well, I've got a decision to make here. Do I want to go for the money or do I want to go for the glory, let's say? That's a decision we have to start getting back to. Because at the moment, this is not helping anyone. How can Manchester United be £1 billion in debt, but basically because they sell more shirts than us, which has got nothing to do with football, or they can get a sponsorship deal with Audi and this tyre making and that kit making and blah, blah, blah. How is that football? How is that football? How can Luton being a team from a tiny little town outside London ever compete? Or Blackburn, how could the Blackburn thing ever happen again? If an owner comes in and go, I'm mega rich, I've supported Luton all my life, or I've supported Blackburn all my life, I want to take them to the top. Sorry, mate, you can't, because no little Luton, they don't sell as many shirts as Man United, so you can't do it.
No, they've wrecked competition.
It's bollocks. It's utter bollocks. There's a way to do it, and they're terrified of doing it.
Just do it and let the best rise to the top.
Yeah.
And the best will get there.
The best will still people. Always rise to the top. But Manchester City couldn't have got to the top. You wouldn't have this beautiful Manchester City team that are playing all this beautiful football. Kevin De Bruyne, Haaland. You wouldn't have had this with, number one, the ability to spend as much money as they want. But when that was taken away, they've had to cheat. And they have cheated. Are we sitting here going, it's a disgrace? Not really, no. Because you watch the football and you go, it's fantastic. But they are cheating. But what are they cheating? How are they cheating? They are spending their money to make the best team they've got. Well, Newcastle have come along now and they can do that. Well, Liverpool have done it a different way. And Liverpool have pushed Manchester City quite hard. So it's bollocks. It's utter bollocks.
Kev says, Ned, I said months ago, go to Llandudno, lad, and say that to a seagull. Yeah. They're the size of dogs there.
Just get.
Hang on. Hang on. Dogs, not dinosaurs. No. Dogs. Go to Llandudno.
Go into a chippy.
That's flying, it's coming at you.
Go into a chippy. Sit down on a bench with your chips.
Let's see how
long you last.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And let's video it.
Do it.
Let's video.
We'll do it then. This year we're going. Dates it, taking the camera, and you're getting exposed.
We are doing this.
You are getting. We're going to set you up.
This is a Sean promise.
April, May, when it's nice, we're going to Llandudno in the week. We'll drive there. We'll go there. We'll set you up with some chips on Llandudno.
I'll make it easy for them.
Front, and we'll have the camera. And we'll see.
Do you know, right? Do you know he said yes to everything, though? I know there's an instant way of him saying no to doing this video. Do you want to watch this now?
8 o'clock in the morning.
No. You got your mic on?
Yeah.
We're taking your car.
Well, no. Because, no.
Squeak, 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 squeak,
No.
squeak, squeak, squeak,
I'll put in the
squeak.
Malik.
You are the tightest person I know.
We'll get like.
You are. You know when we go for our away days, have you ever driven to one?
I've drive to work.
Have you ever driven to an away day? No, because you
yeah,
are
to
tight.
Run-on.
You don't. You go.
Drop
Can I come with you? Why? Because it'll put an extra 30 miles on your car, not mine.
I might have to park my car next to a car that they might open the door and it might scratch me lovely concrete finish.
We may as well share.
No.
Share
Well, we could have. You could have driven.
you could have
I
driven.
could have sat and watched.
All right. Well, next
You are that, mate. Just that. You know what? I'd have more respect for you if you just went, I am tight as anything, lads, honestly. I'd respect you. I'd think, well, at least he's kind of owning it.
I like money. I like not spending.
Exactly, you're tight. Just say I'm tight. I don't mind it.
I'm careful.
You're not careful. You're worse than careful.
I
But
just
that's
don't
fine.
like long drives.
It is. That's bull. Where are you going tonight?
I'm not driving tonight. Chris is driving.
Where?
Tonight.
Oh, Chris, Bellend, Chris. Well, what about the other? I don't know the lad. I just mean.
Bellend. He just had Bellend surgery.
No, that's what I mean.
I don't know if he needs that broadcasting to
You
the
can't just
world.
call Chris a Bellend.
I didn't call Chris a Bellend. I said Bellend Chris. I didn't call Chris a Bellend. If I'd have said Chris is a Bellend, that's different. I said Bellend Chris. Like saying Ginger Ned. Grey Baz.
I am Ginger.
Exactly the same Baz. Bellend Chris. Moany Ped. Ginger Ned. Pedantic Blaine. They're all there.
But I'm not driving tonight either.
Of course you're not. Of course you're not.
Because
Of course you're not. Squeak, squeak.
it's all the gear.
Yeah, that-
It wouldn't fit all the gear in your car.
He's bullet, mate. Ignore him.
Your car is a concrete skip with
Yeah.
an engine.
Ignore him.
None of your hats
Mate,
back.
he's the tightest kid I've ever known. But I just wish you'd just go. I'm a minge bag. And then we just go sound and we move on. You'd never get stick
Do you
for it.
know what would actually be nice if we can film it? We can get the train to Llandudno.
No, we're not getting
No,
the train.
why would we get the train when we've got your concrete
Well, I
car?
get the train for free.
Why have we got your
Got a
concrete?
train.
You are the honest to God. Honest
That would
to
make a
God.
nice little vlog.
You
that.
are
Train.
proper minge bag. You
What
are.
if we took your car, we pay for the petrol?
No,
diesel?
because you still put the mileage on my
It's not
car.
about
What are you-
mileage. You're
what are you
terrified.
talking
You're
about?
terrified.
I don't like Welsh roads.
You don't like Welsh. When was the last time you drove on a Welsh road?
I drove to Molfamu in end of September.
And what scared you about their roads?
Just like they're all like uphill, aren't they?
They're all uphill. Did you drive to the top of Molfama?
And then downhill on the way back.
Are you? You know this? I've never understood this. It'll put mileage on me car.
What is he like Ferris Bueller's
What's
Bleeding
the
Day Out?
point of having a car? What is the point of having a car if you're scared of putting mileage on it? There's literally no. You may as well buy a second-hand car, leave it on your drive, never take it anywhere, and go, oh look, that's got 11 miles. What is the point? I've never understood this. Sorry, you know what this is?
Sorry.
This is information that. And listen, Steve Lamb, if I've got this wrong, I apologise. But your dad is probably a bit tight as well, because that's where you've got it. Because it's learned behaviour. And I bet you he's gone on at you about
My
mileage
dad,
on a
it was my
car.
dad who bought me that.
Exactly. All right. Well, maybe your dad is. Maybe your dad can't believe how tight you are. But there's someone that's giving you information, right, about putting mileage on a car. It's the biggest nonsense I've ever heard.
I'll drive. I just think it'd be a fun video.
Why do you play footy twice a week? No. Because you're shortening your life. You're putting mileage on your body, on your leg. Seriously,
It's fun though.
you're putting mileage on all your organs and your legs.
Yeah.
Your life's getting shorter every time you play.
Drinking.
And drinking.
Emma says, did Ned just say Chris had bell-end surgery? Get well soon, lad.
Yeah.
Hang on,
Ned, this is from James. I think this is the best one. Ned's is so tight, he left his car with the primer on. Couldn't be bothered paying for the paint.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's not true.
Because someone said
It is painted moonstone grey.
it's concrete grey, isn't it?
I love it.
Hayden says
Stone.
Ignore him,
Hang on,
it's
what
concrete.
is stone?
it's concrete.
It's a proper.
Hayden says more stories of Onana costing 66 million. Even though it's doubling it seems far too low. 75 million, I think, would be a fair shout at least. That's what I think, but I don't know. Yeah.
Incredible.
Tapes on toast, isn't he? Says that you're never going to achieve anything as a football club if you keep selling your best players. I know, but when you've got no money, mate, the only way you can do is sell, replace, build your team up a little bit. The ideal, like if you were just like writing a plan out, would be like sell one player for 75 million, buy 3 for kind of like, I don't know, 50 million, say. So you'd have that profit goes back into your club. Then one of those 3, you develop them, sell one of them, buy another. That's the only way you can. Brighton have done it, Brentford have done it. Liverpool did it on a different level, didn't he? Casino out and different things like that. Sterling went out and all that. You've got to. Yeah. That's how we have to do it. We can't, unless there is a real change within the systems and the rule changes and it balances it.
Someone just gives us a big fat wedge of money.
Or they say there's none of that and a state-owned country takes over us and just says, go ahead, go and spend 100 billion or whatever on players. There's no way to bridge the gap. What would be a real true reflection of how good managers are and players are and clubs are would be to have something that almost leveled the playing field. And then we'd see who juggles it better and who's a better coach and all that. Where right now, we're just seeing people. You know, the thing with Liverpool is, Liverpool have been brilliant under Klopp. They really have. But the wage bill, the highest or the second highest. So, and really, if you ask anyone in football who works within it, what's the true indication of how well a team does? On like a percentage scale, they always say wage bill. The best players are paid the most, and therefore the team finishes. It's why Everton, under Moyes, that thing often came out, didn't it? Punching above their weight. Yeah. That was a phrase that was used. You'd argue that Brighton have done that and Brentford have done that and things like that because their wage bill is nowhere near the wage bill of teams that are below them. They're like much. And Liverpool have got a high wage bill. Manchester United might be an anomaly. You've got a high wage. Man City have got a high wage bill. Those who pay more will finish higher towards the top. So if you kind of leveled that off a little bit, we'd get a better indication of what was what. Because no one's going to do it voluntarily, are they? So I mean, otherwise, we just have, like you said before, we just end up with a status quo where those few clubs will always be the clubs at the top.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. James says if we buy players and consistently sell at a profit, that will progress us. Yeah. Barry P says they'll even take your Cornetto net in Llandudno.
This is going to be a fantastic video.
Yeah.
I want to have a cornetto.
No, we'll have different foods.
Something like a magnet.
We'll have different food. We'll give you different foods and just watch and see what happens.
But like
Ned versus Seagull.
James says it happened to my wife in Brighton. Ended up with no sausage and a cuff finger.
But what if they actually do? I can't beat up a seagull in public, can I? I can.
No, but we'd see how long you could fend one off, though.
Do you go to like seagull fight clubs?
If we went in an alley where no one could see us, I probably would beat up a seagull. But I don't want to do it.
All we say, Bob says smear Ned in jam and then tie him to the bench in Llandudno. That'd be interesting.
Maybe.
Kev Murphy says Ned's got no petrol.
To be fair, if we go in July and it's warm, Ned'll look like he's smearing jam.
He will.
Like jam.
Gareth says it. Let me know when, and I'll take you to the best place and buy the chips. And Ned, you could park your car on my driveway.
Well, if he buys the chips,
or in the garage.
If he buys the chips, I'm straight there. Yeah.
Danny says Newey's as tight as a duck's arse. Yeah. Sambo says take Ned to Nosey Safari Park in the monkey bit.
Yeah.
In his car.
No, I'll drive around it.
Yeah.
The baboons bit. You wreck your car.
To be fair, you have to pay to get in Nosey Safari Park. That would be a problem from the start.
No, I know.
You could just watch the documentary on Channel 4.
Kev Murphy says Ned is that friend who goes in rounds, always last, and then disappears home.
I don't do rounds.
He doesn't do rounds because it costs him too much money.
People have like different drinks, don't they?
It's called.
So what?
A round.
That's just a round.
No, I don't do rounds.
Do you do so? If you went in a round, would you say, right, you've got
that's so
£2?
No, it's not.
Because I only want a £2 drink, so I'm only buying you.
My friends consume different amounts.
It doesn't matter.
No, but in a round, you're buying a round.
You're buying a round.
It's just easy to buy your own drink.
No, it's not. That's just so.
So if you were going out for a bevy, right, and you were going out with you and 2 mates, right, you, Belen, Chris, and Cam went for a night out, you wouldn't go on around. Would you not want to go on around with them because you were drinking Coke and that was £2 a pint, but you knew Chris and Cam were going to be on pints that were £4, £3.50.
If we all go out for a drink, and we're all drinking, we will do rounds and we'll go, you get that wrong.
But say you weren't drinking, say you were drinking soft drinks, which is cheaper than bevies, would you not go on rounds then?
I'll say, I'll get my own, I want to get in a Coke.
Okay. James says Ned is so tight. Oh, yeah, I've done that one, haven't you? Graham says Ned offers you a Chris because it's the thing to do, but closes his hand around the packet.
Of course he does.
Blue Peter says Ned could peel an orange in his pocket.
Oh no, I hate sharing food. Just get your own food. I hate that when people try and pinch food.
Incredible.
It's quality. It's quality. Emma says, can we do a Premier Coach trip to London now for the day?
Watch.
Barry says, Ned, the seagull will take your eyes out. Got to be careful. Got to be careful. Rod says, first out the taxi and last in the pub. Raf fan says, Ned has obviously never experienced the land of no seagulls.
No,
Get him on that pier. We need to see it. I'm telling you, we're doing it this year. Emma's money's definitely going on the seagull. Yeah, without a shadow, mate, we're going to Popsy Baker. If we get to Llandudno, we're bouncing over to Conway to the Popsy.
Why wouldn't you?
100%, mate. Right. 100%. Them ice buns are getting in my mouth. 100%. Right, we are done.
Incredible scenes.
There wasn't a lot of transfer chat today we give you, but we'll be back next week.
Live chat.
Live chat as well. There you go.
Seagull chat.
Seagulls, Ned's car, Ned's tightness. It's all good. Hit the like button, subscribe. Come on, the road to 100,000. Be a long one. Ned's driving, so we might have to go there. Yeah.
It's just like 66.
Yeah. James finishes and says, I would say whoever's driving doesn't have to pay for the drinks.
No, because I always offer to drive because I'm not asked about drinking alcohol. Asked about drinking at loads.
No, it means when we go to Llandudno.
Oh.
So if you drive, then we'll buy you a drink and a cake. Yeah. Look at his face. If you could see his face now, it's incredible.
No, I've been on a few dates recently and I've paid for all of it, all the bills.
Kev says you sound like a catch, Ned.
I'm sorry, you want applauding for that or something? I've been on a few dates and I've paid.
I'd have said, shall we split this?
Oh, because you just want your.
You were fuming. I'm not saying this on camera. I'm done. Listen, we're going.
He was fuming, wasn't he?
I've just remembered. We're going. Take it easy. Have a great weekend.
You wanted to go full split the PayPal bill, did you?
Never.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
You did.
See you later. Tight ass. See you later. Bye bye.